We'll just talk about how I don't really know how to edit anything except it looks like I know how to edit because of our software.
I remember what it was. Have you guys seen this whole Reese's and Oreos thing that's going on?
They're both delicious?
No, this is crazy. So like they have Reese's that is flavored Oreos, and they have Oreos that are flavored Reese's. So that's like a Reese's peanut butter cup that has Oreo, components.
Like Oreo in it or flavored.
And then there's Oreos that are Reese's flavor Oreos, which actually sounds kind of more awesome.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
Because Reese's has put all kinds of stuff in it. So I think the Oreos sound better.
Yeah.
I don't normally eat that shit, but like I was thinking the Oreos, the Reese's, like that's better than like the banana Oreos and all the other weird crap that they've come out with.
Yeah. I will say this. I'm not saying because of who it is, but I tried the Selena Gomez ones. Those are pretty dang good.
What's the flavor?
I don't remember which one they were.
It's like a cinnamon spice Oreo.
Selena Gomez flavored?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It was a little racist when I first read it, but
it feels racist. With cinnamon,
it does.
Like, I know
it's like spice. It's spice, and I'm kind of like, okay.
Horchata?
But they were delicious.
Yeah, definitely horchata.
That was one of those days that I was laid up for 24 hours because I was just crashing.
Sugar crash after eating a whole bunch of flat worth of Selena Gomez Oreos.
Yep.
Well, welcome to the shit show, guys. Beyond the Pipe is back with another episode. We've got Zeke Stout, an older friend of mine from a little ways back, and some really interesting meshed in history that led to what I'm doing now a little bit. I didn't affect his life too much, but he's less stout than he used to be. But
you did affect my life a lot.
I did have an impact. We'll talk about that a little later. I was your muse for a new creation. But Zeke runs a gunsmithing school. He was the host of is it History Channel, right?
Discovery Channel.
Discovery Channel.
I always get those.
I wish it was History Channel. We probably would have had a second season if it was History Channel.
Yeah, Discovery's a pain in the ass. But Discovery Channel's Master of Arms. And he's recently written a book that Sean and I turbo read yesterday, both getting very different views of the book. So we're going to discuss that a little bit, among other things.
It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Wait, different. I hope the different views were not. Sean was like, it was good. Chris was like, that sucked.
No. I loved it, but I have to give. I guess we'll get right into the book because that's the most relevant right now. But so Sean can actually read a book without falling asleep. I have some weird selective narcolepsy to where if I start reading, I can't seriously, every page or so I yawn when I'm reading my kids' books. I don't know what that is. I cannot read a book without starting to just drift off.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Everything I read, and I do consume kind of a ridiculous amount of audiobooks because I'm, in here working all the time. I have to do it through Audible, or some sort of audio format. There's no way that I can read a book. I just can't get through it.
Yeah, Chris basically just told me, I'm not reading your book unless you read it out loud to me.
I need to sit on your lap and you can read it to me.
Let's start reading the book now. Everybody buckle up.
Yeah.
It's going to be here about 6 hours.
So I did the only thing you can do is I took the book in Kindle. I bought it and then realized there's no fucking way I'm reading this. I just want it because I thought it would be cool. And I put it into the text-to-speech function that Sean showed me. And it was it's better than it used to be, but it's still a robot reading you the book. Zero inflection, zero pitch changes. And I was just I felt
no
like I was just
pauses.
I felt like I was just almost
no, that's actually how I wrote it.
Dude, that'd be such a...
There wasn't a single period or comma the entire time.
It would have been also kind of mysterious if you did that because it described the drawings too, which is really
Did it really?
Weird. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was in a circle with a swipe and a dot. And I was just I can see that. That's kind of weird. Is this,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got to the end of the book and I got to tell you, I don't want to give any spoilers to the book, but we can hash it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I got, and you tell me if you were drawing on any of this, but there was a movie called The Old Guard.
The Old Guard.
Charlize Theron. She's like immortal.
The more recent one on Netflix. Yeah. And then there's been a part 2 that just came out too.
Yeah, part 2 I think was good. Part 1 was just, I love origin story type stuff. It felt like Logan. Right? Maybe it wasn't Logan, but it was like, you know, where they show Hancock also.
Yeah.
You know, where they're like, you know, this guy, he was an immortal and he's been around forever. And, you know, they once praised us as gods in Egypt and all this crazy shit. I'm starting to think, I was like, this is more along those lines. And then it occurred to me, I am also writing a book that I've been working on for the past year that is sort of, could exist in the same universe as this concept to a degree. It's not the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's very rough right now, but it's along it's an adjacent concept.
Okay. Don't give away too much.
I'm not going to give away anything. No, because it's actually a really interesting, it's an interesting theory, but it's also maybe a little too autistic for people to process in its current format. So anyway,
that's what I was worried about mine.
You know, yours was definitely a little squirrely, but like it was good. It was a super good book, and you brought it home, which was really nice. Like at the end, you're like, oh shit, I feel good now. Like I feel good about that. I feel good that I spent time reading this.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was hoping. You know, I don't like you said, we don't want to give away the main kind of secret. Yeah. Oh wow, that's a revelation kind of thing, but there was so much that I wanted to hammer down from the different religious texts that were real. And some of those research chapters were just droning on, but I kept trying to whittle them down. I'm like, but I got to say that, that fits the story. It's going to be revealed later. And that was one of the hardest parts is getting through those, getting through those things. So I don't know why I just went there. Oh, you said I jumped around a little bit. It was a little squirrely. Yeah.
It happens. It happens. But yeah, it's just a bizarre, I mean, creating a book like that. And the thing I kept thinking about the whole time is this must have taken, like, I kept feeling like this was maybe you, because Keel is Zeke. Like, yeah. But, and there were other characters in there that are actual friends of yours that I think John is in there, right?
Yeah, John's in there.
John's in there. Little John.
And John is John's like 6'9", 6'10", and I made him a little person in the book.
He's little, yeah. John, for people that don't know, John is Hickok. So he's what's the channel name again?
Hickok's son. Hickok 45's son.
Hickok 45's son. Yeah. So whenever you see those YouTube videos with that guy's got such an awesome range with the gong and all the stuff.
Yeah,
that's his son, and they're both giants. They're both freaky tall, like crazy tall people. But you don't get that from the video ever, unless they're shooting carbines. That's the funniest thing when they pull out like a carbine. You're like, oh, they're fucking huge.
Yeah. the first time I met Hickok, we had him. I used to have the podcast Talking Lead, and he was on our 4th episode.
Yeah,
I never thought he was 6'9". And he walks into the studio, and I'm like, I'm usually the tallest person in the room, and he dwarfed me, and I was like, and I shook his hand as like shaking a baseball mitt.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that kind of freaked me out. And then John, I think maybe a little bit taller than him.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize how tall they are.
They're kind of crazy tall. Yeah. Like they're like to scale, they're like 30% taller than like an average, like than me.
Oh yeah.
Like there's, I mean, even you, when you're in my shop, and you can go back on this channel and see when Zeke was in my shop, he's like twice the size of me. It was freaky. Like, cause I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'9", like maybe in the video, I was probably like 160, 150. Yeah. And I'm just like, holy shit, who's this guy? And it was actually funny because it was a long line I had a lot of people hanging out at the time in the shop. Like we had all the YouTube guys and everything. Yeah. And we also had Elliot, who's a friend of mine from Hawaii, and he's fucking tall too. And I'm like, I was feeling really not great about myself. I'm like, why am I such a tiny little shit? Everyone was huge.
But I'm like 5'8" on a good day, so I've always been the shortest guy in the room.
Sean's a little guy, but he's stout. He's getting fit. Yeah, it's a good name, but he's getting fit, and I'm starting to be like, shit. Now I got to get a little more jacked because he's doing it. So I don't have a lot to work with though, dude.
Yeah,
you got to eat more.
That was back when I had I still have the pipe channel, but I hadn't posted anything in like 8 years.
Yeah.
But I had the pipe squatch channel, and that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, I love that community, man.
You had a good room too.
Yeah, it didn't grow that much. I think I had 1,500 subscribers, something like that. I never really worked it. It was just kind of a hobby channel.
Yeah.
And just that community is so cool and accepting. And, the gun community, oh my God, every other comment is a troll. Oh, yeah. You don't know. Sure. Oh, you didn't do that. Oh, why you never saw the shit. Oh, right. Yeah. It's just kind of like, oh, dude, I'm just showing a cool gun. Shut up.
I think it's because it's bigger also. Like
it is, yeah.
It's so much bigger, and people do have to kind of mind their P's and Q's in this group a little bit because it is so diverse, which is something we're finding out right now.
Yeah.
Certain things are flying around that shouldn't be, and people need to rein it in and maybe self-police a little bit. But we won't go into that. No. Let's go back to the book, Mr. Tangent.
Yeah.
Sean, when at the end of it, like I mentioned something, like I was like, this feels like an origin story thing to me. And that's just because I was purely sucking up the main nutrients of the story. I didn't get all the fluff. It was like, it almost, to me, it read like a screenplay in a way.
And what's cool about that is I actually thought about it originally as a screenplay.
You could actually totally do this as a series.
Yeah. That would be cool.
You could and the people, so you could.
I got the address to Netflix. Well, I knew the people. Discovery's not going to do it.
No, they wouldn't do it. But there are people. I mean, I know some people. Like, we could definitely check it out to see if it's going to happen. I mean, Project Hail Mary, arguably top 3 books of all time for me, is being made into a movie, and that's Ryan Gosling.
Oh, nice.
I never expected that.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
And it's going to be so much fun. Like, I'm so pumped. I'm not too pumped about him doing it, but I think he's got enough range to pull it off because it's a comedy. It's kind of like The Martian a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
But I think cooler because it's like uncharted territory. It's like we don't know shit about, anything past Mars, right? So when they're doing this stuff, like I'm not going to give away the story, but you can look up the trailer. I'm super pumped about it because there's like a I don't know. I've never really given a shit about space, but I think The Martian, Aliens, that stuff kind of got me into it again. Like I kind of like, okay, this is pretty cool actually, because we don't know what's out there. But anyway, check that out. I feel like at the end there was like a superhero element to it. Something. You hung on. Yeah.
So the way my process to get to what it ended up being, right, is a lot of the stuff that happened to him in his youth. That's me. I wrote Keel as me originally. It all said Zeke originally because it was easier for me to relate to the character, so it made it easier for me to write.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is I let my sisters read the manuscript and they didn't finish it before I actually clicked publish the first time. And all of a sudden my sister texted me. She goes, why the fuck is Keel all of a sudden Zeke now? And I was like, no. And I had to go back and I checked in the manuscript and there was like 4 different times I was still calling him Zeke that I forgot to change it.
Oh, damn.
So thank God there is one copy that went out with the 4 mentions of Zeke instead of Keel. So
that's hilarious.
Thank God it was a buddy of mine who's also an author. So I was like, dude, you have a collector's edition. That is like a one of a kind. Nobody else has that.
That's funny.
But so I wrote it as me. So a lot of the stuff of his seeking mentality, like his searching for spirituality, consciousness, different religions, is stuff that I actually did. And then kind of where I spun it into a fiction is some neat ideas I had. I'm not going to say the main core neat idea because I had that idea about probably 15, 18 years ago. Me and a buddy were sitting around late at night and I was like, man, what if blah? And he's like, well, gosh, if you really think about it, people in biblical times versus people now,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and then it just kept getting fleshed out and kept getting fleshed out. So this has actually been something that's been 20 years in the making.
Yeah.
Actually writing it, I started putting little notes in my phone here and there, probably 3 years ago. And then about a year ago, in fact, July of last year, I just started vomiting words onto a Pages doc because I've got Apple. And then I was like, I read something about ChatGPT helping people with writing and stuff like that. And it was one of those stupid Facebook ads, like, hey, use ChatGPT to become a millionaire, make it write you books. And I'm like, well, no, I want it to be my story, but maybe I could use it as an editor.
Yeah.
So I put in these prompts and I was very specific. Do not rewrite anything. Do not do this. I want to see what this looks like. And then it started popping out. Hey, elaborate on this. Hey, take some of this out. Maybe this would be a good idea to add over there. And I would do that. And there was a few times where it tried to rewrite like a whole chapter. And I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah.
If you think this needs to look pretty, tell me how to make it pretty. I want to write the book. And then, I can tell you there's an AI component to the book. He gets a hold of an AI, and a few of those interactions, and this was probably the coolest experience I've had using technology in my life. I told my ChatGPT chatbot, or whatever you call them when you create them, I said, let's do a role play. I want you to be Echo, the AI.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Keel. And I want us to have a real-time interaction where I'm asking these questions, and I want to see what your answers would be if you were what Echo is, having that knowledge to me being Keel. And dude, it was like, this is gold. And I just kept going.
That was cool. That was cool throughout the whole book.
Yeah, and I was like, this is cool. This is a cool way to write a book. And I had to go and change a few of the lines that it said because, like all AI, it got repetitive. And then I think the most annoying thing to me about AI right now is it's so affirming. Everything you do is awesome. That's a brilliant idea. That rocks. You kick ass. And it's like, okay, I know that might kind of suck, so don't blow smoke, please.
It's not critical enough.
It was another point of – it was another part of the book that was relatable, though, because anybody who's messed with ChatGPT or Grok or anything has experienced those things. It's such a new concept for us to have this technology that we
I'm not laughing
use.
At you, Sean.
No, that's all right.
I am.
I just laughed when you said Grok. Okay, here's my experience with Grok. I don't know if I don't know if I told you, Chris. I moved to Memphis. I used to be outside of Nashville. Now I'm in Memphis, still in Tennessee. Yeah. So Elon is opening They just opened their XAI headquarters here in Memphis. So Grok is like 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, let me try out Grok. Dude, that fucking thing is racist.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So I said, hey, I'm interested in using you as an editor for my book. I've been using ChatGPT. There's a little bugs here and there, but I'd like to see oh, that's great. Sounds fantastic. Let's see what you got. Blah, blah. I was like, well, what made you choose me? And I said, well, I'm not choosing you yet. I just thought this is where it went sideways. I just thought it would be cool since I live in Memphis and your headquarters is in Memphis right down the road from me. Why not support a local company? Dude, first response back was, yo, I feel what you're putting down, homie. And I was like, whoa! I'm
just
like,
straight up
it went totally 90s rap artist. And it kept saying like, I feel what you saying, homie. And I'm like going,
God.
Whoa. Just because I live in Memphis doesn't mean like I'm a 90s rap artist.
I didn't even take that. That's funny.
And then it goes, my bad, dog.
What?
I'll dial that shit back. And I say shit because you said you like to cuss. And I'm like, what in the world am I doing?
Dude, it just typecasted you.
Dude, it was so bizarre. Crazy. And I kept trying to bring it back to like normal speak. And it kept going, it's like being at Graceland with Elvis, eating some barbecue with your baby. And I'm like going, what is this crap?
Oh my God.
It was bizarre. Wow. And I showed my wife, and she's been in Memphis since, she went to college here, and she was just dying laughing. I'm like, This hilarious. Is bizarre. It just, I said I'm from Memphis, immediately, boom, hip hop culture.
Yeah. Well, it takes the demographic. Because Memphis is largely black, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah, I'm a minority in Memphis. It's about 60-40.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, consequently, that's where all the good barbecue comes from.
And good rap. Good rap artists.
Let's call spade a spade. Like, these aren't stereotypes, they're positivities,
But it's also the birthplace of rock and roll. Rock and roll was born in Memphis. Memphis is one of the coolest cities in the country, and everybody's like, "Oh, the crime rate," and it's like, dude, any big city you go to, if you go to the wrong place at the wrong time, you're not going to be in a good situation.
It's going to be a far cry from Nashville. That's a different culture, right?
Yeah. Nashville's real fake now.
It's real Austin / San Francisco.
Oh, dude, I grew up in Nashville. I went to high school in Nashville, and Nashville is not the Nashville I grew up in.
Yeah,
it is. When I had the TV show, I had people that I met once or twice reaching out. Oh, that's awesome. Do you know anybody at Sony Records? Can you hook me up with a record deal over here? And I'm like, dude, I have a weapons building TV show. What makes you think I connect you with somebody in the country industry?
You did some good connections, though, because you introduced me to Trent and Ty.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't remember if I ended up talking to Ashley at all, but Nick Irving. We messaged back and forth briefly. That guy's super cool.
Yeah.
But then Trent and Ty pulled me into the Underground Railroad build because he did all the blacksmithing for that series.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
And that was awesome. I was in the middle of it, which was super fun. I got all the scripts and stuff with my name watermarked on it. It was super cool.
That's cool.
And then because of that prop department brought me over to the other stuff that we did, the Phoenician scheme and some other stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was like, this is dope. And it's still continuing. Whenever they need pipes, hey, we need a pipe. Here's the character, do whatever. Or here's the parameters.
Dude, I wish we weren't so busy filming on that show, because when you sent that box, and I just started giving them out to the cameramen and the producers and everything. Yeah. At one point, when on one of the outdoor testing scenes where Nick was testing, I turned around and there was 10 people with a bones pipe.
Man,
and they're all
photos. That's cool.
But we weren't allowed to have our cameras on, our phones on us.
Yeah,
and and you're just boom, 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 boom. Then you're asleep, and then you wake up and you're boom, 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 boom. You're just nonstop. So it's that would be such an awesome photo and picture to take. I think we ended up getting one picture I sent you with the executive producer where he had his bones pipe.
It was cool.
But yeah, that was fun. Then there I go sidetracking. Yeah, you derail.
Total derail.
That's all right.
But I do want to get Sean's, because Sean has a different view of the book. He kind of goes more into the see, I like the metaphysical shit. I like it when it's the sci-fi aspect of it. I mean, it wasn't full sci-fi, but there was a little sci-fi aspect to it. It was flavored.
There was the dream has a little bit of sci-fi in the beginning, right? Yeah. And that's going to be part of book 2. That's going to be a big
That's
part
what
of
I figured.
Book 2.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Echo's going to have a bigger part of it. Gunny kind of just sits back and goes, "Hey, that's me. You got me right there."
Yeah.
There's going to be more, like you said, I don't want to call it a superhero thing.
No,
I want but
it has
that
vibe.
kind of thinking.
Yeah. No, but that's cool though.
I was a comic book geek growing up, so I'm putting stuff in me, and that's one of the hardest things about this. And Sean will eventually let you talk.
Someday.
is I've done TV, I've done podcasts, I've done YouTube, I've done radio. This is the most vulnerable I've ever felt in my life, because all of those you can kind of put up somewhat of a persona, right? Dude, this is here, everybody, here's the inside of my brain. Yeah. And you're oh God, what are people going to think,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I think because I know, Sean's not going to get to talk.
I know. Okay. Every time he starts, one of us starts talking over.
When he starts talking,
that's usually me.
We're gonna let Sean. We're gonna let him have his piece. When he rambles, he'll just be able to talk. We won't interrupt him. But I did. There was when I was reading it, I was like, "Oh, this is Zeke." oh, he's talking. Okay. Because we've talked about a lot of the stuff that you talked about in the book before. And I was like, oh, this is full on. Like he's trying to like hash some shit out in himself while he's writing this book, which was really cool. Like it gave a special element to it.
Cool.
Like Sean probably didn't pick that right out at first, but
no, I did actually. And
you did?
That was shut up, Chris.
Okay, go ahead. You talk.
Yeah, he called me on it on Instagram.
Oh, really?
He said, "This is you, isn't it?"
Yeah. So that's one thing that I did really enjoy about it is Zeke. I didn't know you before this. I mean, I've heard your name because Chris has mentioned you over the years, but I picked up on that right away, and I think the way you wrote this was really good. Because I think nobody even has to know what the story is supposed to be about. Everybody could have an interest in this because there's so many elements like the sci-fi aspect in the beginning. That's really cool. You got the AI with Echo that comes into play that everybody can kind of relate to now. But I also got the sense that, oh, this is an autobiography. And even just like in my head, I'd never like seen a picture of you other than just like your profile picture. And so I was thinking, oh, he's like describing, like this is Zeke, with Keel, the main character. I was like, okay, well that's cool. And so I felt like I got to get to know you a little bit through the story, even though it was fictional. But I could see like, I understood the amount of research you had to do to come up with the things in the book that I happen to know were also real, like the metaphysics of different Eastern religions and Western religions and, you know, books in the Bible that were taken out for various reasons and stuff like that. A lot of that comes up in the book in a very palatable way for a lot of people to be introduced, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's kind of, you know, I had this conversation with you on Instagram is I wanted this to be a book that everybody can enjoy. You could be Christian, Muslim, Jewish, atheist, agnostic, you know, spiritualist, whatever you are, you could read this and not feel offended. There will be some people that are going to go, hey, wait a minute. And then they'll have to go, oh yeah, it's a fiction book, you know? But I wanted it to be palatable enough for anybody that's a very, very devout whatever we just said, can go, I can enjoy this for fiction. You know, Buddhists didn't get pissed off at George Lucas when he made Star Wars. So, you know, I would hope that nobody from different religions get pissed off at me for making this fictional book. You know,
I don't see that happening. I actually got that vibe too. Like it felt very, it was like religiously ambiguous, but then also took like the common point. You know, it's like, I've said it on the Fast and the podcast, like I am more religious than I used to be, like much more Christian than I used to be. But I also still go back to the same thing. It's like, there's two things that you have to follow. I'm sitting here, I got spray foam all over my fingers. We'll talk about that later. But you just, you know, be a good person or treat everyone how you want to be treated and don't be an asshole. These is literally the only two things you need to take away from any religion and you're good to go. Like you're halfway, 3/4 of the way into any religion. I mean, most of them. There's some out there that are not like that. But yeah. Sean, take it away.
Oh, that's it. We can wrap it up.
He's done.
Like I'm sick of being talked over.
No, I found it very enjoyable. I thought it was a lot of fun to listen to it in a kind of a religious adjacent way, but also there was so many aspects of sci-fi. Like there was a lot of Star Wars vibes when you meet a certain group of people in there that are kind of like the overseers in a way. And then
did you? I gotta ask this. And I don't want to reveal anything.
Okay.
When we find out about their headquarters, did you laugh out loud?
Oh my God! I thought that was a little ridiculous.
Like, I was like, okay, the author's
I was like,
a
you've got to be kidding me right now.
The author's
it makes more sense knowing that you're in Memphis now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I've never been to that place before because we don't have them in Montana.
We don't have them.
The stereotypes of what I know about that, it made a lot of
They're
sense.
true.
I'm like, okay, this is where all of it's emanating from. Of course it's going to be there. And I thought that was hilarious.
You should have thrown a Buc-ee's in there somewhere, but yeah, when I read it, I was like, okay, he's full on going redneck on this one.
You know what? Now, Chris, I hope I don't have to give you credit that if I make Keel's place to send out the positive energy from a Buc-ee's.
You should totally do it. It would be really funny.
Or a Trader Joe's.
Going back to what I had said, like The Martian is like a very serious book.
Yeah.
Without the comedy. If you pull out the comedy, I'm not talking about Matt Damon. I mean like the book, right?
Yeah.
You pull out the comedy and it becomes a very severely serious story.
Yeah.
Project Hail Mary is terrifying without the comedy. Like the comedy is what allows it to be consumable by most people. Because if you didn't, it would literally be like a slimmed down version of like Alien and Three Body Problem and like things that would like be very deeply uncomfortable for a lot of people to read, which is also cool because that verges on like sci-fi horror stuff like that, which I also like. But if you insert, and you did obviously with your location of many other things in the book, putting that in there allows it to be, there's a certain grace that allows that is allowed by the reader at that point. Like you can laugh about it. You can say, okay, this is serious shit, but it's also like doesn't need to be. And that's the point of the book. That's the story. That's the plot, right?
Exactly. It's one of those things where, I worked for 13 years in the medical field before I worked in the industry I'm in now. And you see a lot of messed up shit in the medical field. When I was in college, I worked in the ER. I was a phlebotomist. I had to go in there and draw blood no matter what the doctors were doing to the guy. I had to get the blood and take it to the lab. So I saw some crazy stuff. And to deal with that kind of stuff. And then, now I spent a year in the Air Guard. I didn't go to combat. I didn't do anything. I got herniated a disc at a training, and they're like, you're old, you're broken, goodbye. But I have a lot of friends that were still working in the industry I'm in now. I work with a lot of spec ops guys, and I hear their stories and I see the way they are. The medical field, military, law enforcement, first responders, their sense of humor is dark as fuck.
Yeah.
And that it's what you're saying. It's an easy way to make those dark things you deal with palatable. It's like, hey, wait. I don't have to spiral into oblivion because I can crack a joke about this. Only the people who get that, I'm not going to go to some granny who's never dealt with anything and her favorite joke is why did the chicken cross the road? I'm not going to give that dark humor to her, but it's the way that people that see dark stuff deal with dark stuff. And I think that was kind of the perfect blend of throwing my humor, that dark humor into it. Not as heavy as I wanted to initially. There was some darker stuff I had originally, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't fit at all. I'm just trying to, crowbar my dark humor into this. So I just gave my more sarcastic, smart-assy kind of stuff in there.
I think that's where the character Gunny comes into this a little bit too, though, because Gunny is an important character that if you end up reading the book, which I suggest you do.
Yeah, it's a quick read, by the way. It's like 6 hours. Yeah. Like it's not super lengthy, which I think is also
unless
smart.
You're Chris, and then it takes 12 hours because you fell asleep 4 times. Can't read edition of some sort. But anyway, Gunny, I think was. How do I say this without revealing? Yeah, Gunny is an important character for everybody that is involved, and is portrayed to each individual person in their own way.
He's Gandalf. He's a chameleon Gandalf.
Yeah. And it was kind of a salute. One of the coolest things that ever happened to me in the gun industry, doing media in the gun industry, was meeting Arlie Ermy and interviewing him. And if anybody doesn't know who Arlie Ermy is, he was the drill instructor on Full Metal Jacket.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Joker, your name is Joker. That guy.
Best character.
Amazing. And he was such a good human being. And the first time I interviewed him, he gave me one of his challenge coins. And all of a sudden his publicist sprints up. What, did he just give you a challenge coin? And I'm like, yeah. He only gives those to like congressmen and senators and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm just a podcaster.
Yeah.
And she goes, he must have liked the way you interviewed then because he doesn't give those to anybody. So that was cool. And then I thought, okay, he'll never remember me. Well, 2 years later, I'm at another event. He's like, "Hey, Zeke, how's it going?" I'm just like, holy crap, he knows who I am, and it was one of those
cool.
weird, cool moments. So I was kind of, and he passed away a few years ago, and it's kind of a tip of the hat to him, naming him Gunny. So I thought that was kind of cool there. But yeah, he is that hard ass sage teacher guy.
Is it weird that I got that vibe? Like before I said Gandalf, I was like, he's like an R. Lee Ermey Gandalf. Like it was in my head already. That's how I saw him when you presented him. I was like, that's fucking R. Lee Ermey.
Yeah,
like it has to be.
And that was one of the things that pissed me off about ChatGPT when I sent him my Gunny interaction. Yeah. And I said, I call it him. Why did I do that? It's a software. Anyways, I sent ChatGPT the interaction. I was like, hey, check for grammar, blah, blah, blah. And that was one of the first things it rewrote. And it put him in this full Marine uniform. And I'm like, no. What I didn't say rewrite it. I just said, does this flow well? Does this need that? Oh, my bad. And then it just said, okay, correct the grammar here, correct the grammar there. I'm like, why would you rewrite that? My whole image of him was this, gruff, tattooed, older guy with jeans, cowboy boots, and a white V-neck. That is
like
what
the
I
dude
always
from Tropic Thunder. Like the Vietnam vet guy. If he had not been faking it, but like that guy.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of how I pictured him when I was reading. It's really funny.
Exactly.
And the cool part of the story too is that there was a character interaction with Gunny that shows him in a different light, shows that the other character sees him in a completely different way and is in awe, like in a totally different way. And it shows that every person has a relationship with Gunny, the character, in their own perspective based on what they are mirroring towards him.
Exactly.
Which is crazy because that's like Sean, the way that you describe that view of the masks. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It kind of made me think of that too.
For anyone listening on the audio, Chris just waved his hand in front of the camera for 20 seconds.
I'm visualizing right now, but like I don't want to give it away.
It's a concept that I've had in my head on an art piece that I want to figure out how to create because it makes sense to me, but I don't know how to make it sense to anybody else. So.
Oh, nice.
That'd be cool. That's not going to help anyone, but
no, it's not supposed to.
So.
Zeke, I'll tell you about it when we're done recording.
Yeah, okay, cool. I don't want to give away too much of the book, but we'll just suffice it to say, hold up the book again, Zeke.
Yeah.
Hold it up. Come on. Exit to now. You guys give it a read. It's actually really good. Like I'm very skeptical about what I read. Like I'm sitting here looking at my bookshelf and it's all like stuff that most people 1984 like there's a lot of books up there that most people wouldn't just like read for fun because some of it's really dark shit, but I gotta tell you the Count of Monte Cristo broke me. That's one of my favorite book of all time, but it broke me. It took me so long to read that book. I mean, even reading The Hobbit to my daughter took 3 months. Like it's like,
oh wow.
I'm just like, I can't I can't read
one page
anything
at a time.
But on the flip side, I think so far this year I've read 27 books on Audible.
Wow. Like I'm listening to them.
I go nuts. Well, I listen to it, so it's like I go nuts on that,
Yeah.
But what
I did like 20 something last year. Not as many as you did.
I was cranking them. Well, it was a lot of short books too. Like there were a lot of like short stories. There's one book that I read, and I'm about 3 hours left of it, and that's a 47-hour listen.
Ooh,
that's the longest one so far. It's like 4 books. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what it is, but anywho,
you're gonna say what something.
Yeah, I was thinking, what else? What do you have going on right now? Because like you transitioned quite a bit from location, and you're still running the school, but like you have other projects that you're working on here and there, right?
Yeah. So the school is where I make my living. It's MGS Trade School, mgs.edu. If you want to become a gunsmith, I threw it in a commercial.
That's fine. Do it.
Cool.
But then I started another YouTube channel. I always spin about 1,000 plates at once, and I just hope one of them works, The pipe squash thing, that was always just kind of a fun hobby. I'd never thought it would do, a couple hundred subscribers, and then, it had 1,500. So I was like, oh, cool, neat. And then a lot of the YouTube
hang on a
stuff.
Minute. I think I know, I think I followed this pipe squash on Instagram and YouTube.
Never posts.
Never made the connection that was you.
Yeah, it's been like 8 years. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I was going to piss people off.
It in the book.
I was, I was going to piss people off and show what I had here, because I know nobody can get that anymore.
Some Frog Morton.
This is some rare
shit. Then I saw a bunch of rare stuff in your cabinet back there. So, but yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I had to cut nicotine completely out of my life, so that sucks. I mean, I still will, have the oral fixation with this, or, Morgan Bones, by the way.
Briar cigar.
Yeah. I'll still have that oral fixation. I was typing, I had, a pipe in my mouth, but I just wasn't, smoking anymore. You can still get the flavor off of the dry tobacco though. But anyways, that was one. And then my son made his golf team last year, his high school golf team. And he's an athlete that I wish I had a third of his athletic talent when I was his age. But all of a sudden he wanted to play golf all the time. So I'm like, all right, let's go. And it's expensive sport, man. It is, like, good grief. It's fun, but it's expensive.
Like $50 a day to go on the course, huh?
Oh my gosh, it's not, or more.
Course.
If you pay,
that's a cheap course, dude.
Oh. Some of it, you go to a nice one, you're paying $100 and something bucks each. Yep. It's crazy.
And those are cheap courses.
Not to mention your clubs, just on a bare minimum clubs, you're spending $1,500 to $2,000 just to get your set up, right? Unless you go to, Facebook Marketplace or anything, which is what I did. Except for my driver. I got a good driver. So I thought, okay, how am I going to do this? He wants to do this a lot more. I want to do it for him. He's pretty good at it. He's about an 8 handicap at 14 years old.
That's pretty good.
And I'm like, damn.
Wow.
Okay, maybe we'll do something with this. So I started a YouTube channel, and I LLC'd it so I could just write off all the expensive. Never thought it would do anything at all. Named it Dilla Golf. If anybody's ever heard the term Dilla Gaff, do I look like I give a fuck? Dilla Golf, do I look like I golf? And I don't. I've got full sleeve tattoos, big old beard, long hair. I don't look like a golfer. And so I called it Dilla Golf. Within 6 months, I had 10,000 subscribers.
Dang.
Oh, geez.
And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So, and I think what it was is I was real. I'm not a scratch golfer. I'm a 17, 18 handicap on a good day. And I'm like, look, I've broken 100 a handful of times in my life, and that's about it. I'm usually in that 90 to 100 range. And, I'm telling people, one thing I noticed on all the YouTube channels for golf is when you came to looking at these new clubs that came out, there's always these PGA Tour pros and scratch golfers reviewing the clubs. And I'm like, that club's supposed to fix a slice. You don't have a damn slice. You're a PGA Tour pro. Why am I going to listen to you whether or not it fixes your slice? So I started reviewing those type of clubs, and dude, people ate it up. Yeah. I still think the good stuff is actually doing the interviews while we're playing golf. Like, cause a lot of the golf channels will do the golf, and they'll go out and play golf, and they're showing off their talents and who's beating who and everything like that. I suck. So I'm not focusing on it. I'm still going to show how bad I suck, but I'm focusing on those conversations where you're busting each other's balls between holes, know? And so that sounded real bad.
It happens. There's all kinds of puns that happen on the green, man.
Yeah. And so it just took off. So that's one of the plates I'm spinning that actually I might try to spin into like a clothing brand at some point. Yeah. I trademarked the name and everything, so I'm good on that. The book thing was always going to be my business book first, which I have written. And I'm going back and forth between the name Don't Meet Yourself to Death, like MEET, because people don't understand how big of a human capital waste it is in business to have all these stupid meetings. We've had meetings before where we spent an hour and a half trying to decide what copy to put under a freaking Instagram picture. Yep. And it's like, okay, that person makes this, that person makes this, that's. We just spent $1,000 posting a picture to Instagram. What the hell are we thinking? So teaching people, hey, don't meet your company in the ground. One of the philosophies in there, and I'm debating on whether or not to call the book this, is bullet point this bitch. Because the reason I'm debating it is I don't remember where I got it. I didn't come up with it. I heard it. It was either from a business teacher in college or something on radio or something. But I developed that phrase into a business philosophy. And basically what it is, if you have a meeting about anything, it should be, what's our issue? Okay. How do we fix it? Okay. How long will it take us to fix it? And who's going to do this?
All right. Sounds like the conversations I have with my wife. They don't work out. Yeah.
So
wait, let's fix this. No, I don't want to fix that. I just want to complain about it.
That's when you need to look at her and go, bullet point this bitch.
Bullet point this bitch. But see, if you don't put the comma in the right spot, then it comes off.
Then it sounds like you're calling her a bitch.
Like, you can also say that could have been a text. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
this could have been an email. This meeting should have been an email.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what the book is, but it was word vomit too. It was just I repeated a lot of stuff, and I'm going back and looking at it. I'm like, and that's kind of where I had my first session of writer's block was with that book, because I went back after the word vomit and I'm like, oh, this doesn't flow at all. It's still in my voice, still how I write, it's how I talk. And, Sean, you mentioned how it kind of flowed good, because we're in a society now that because of this thing, because of Facebook, because of Instagram, people, their attention span just sucks. It just flat out sucks. And I think, books are dying, because of social media, because of digital media and everything like that, which is dangerous. If anybody's ever read Fahrenheit 454, dude, if you haven't read it, at least go watch the damn movie to understand how dangerous it is to get rid of books.
451,
and you're 451. 454? 453.
I haven't watched it or read it.
Fahrenheit
450 something.
Why are we blanking on that? It's like one of the most important books ever.
Oh, well, it's probably on purpose. Maybe, some dark organization is making us forget stuff.
They're deleting it like they're deleting dictionary words.
This podcast
all from the basement of a McDonald's.
Is it 451?
Yeah.
Okay, 451. Yeah. But anyways, we're losing my kids. I asked my daughter, I'm like, how many books did you read in high school? I think 2.
Yeah.
What? Like, we had 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah.
That we had to read. And now it's 7
like the entire book reports. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. And so I'm like, well, how am I going to write this? Am I going to be fancy, L. Ron Hubbard? Where the hell did that come from? All these dark society things. But
this
like
a book about L. Ron
Hubbard. I was thinking J.R.R. Tolkien. That's
J.R.
and
Tolkien.
It came out L. Ron Hubbard.
Dude, look. Who's that?
Oh wow! Answer it.
How bizarre
answer it on
that?
there.
Hold on, I'm gonna
answer it on there. Can he hear me, or is it only on your ears?
Hey, Trenton. What is up? Dude, you're not gonna believe this, but we're interviewing Zeke right now for the podcast.
You got to put him on speaker now.
Hold on, let me put you on speaker. That's bizarre. All right, can you want to say hi, Zeke? Oh, I can't. He can't hear you.
He can't hear me.
Yeah.
You can repeat what I say.
Okay. Go ahead, Trent.
Zeke, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
He said, I'm good.
Now
how are you?
That's awesome.
I don't know how we can
like translating.
I don't think this works.
This is a train wreck.
You're in the middle of an interview, man. I don't want to interrupt anything.
Yeah. How about let's do this? I'll call you back. How about that?
Yeah, anytime, man. I hadn't talked to you forever. I was just checking in.
Dude, that's freaking weird. We literally just mentioned your name like 10 minutes ago.
Well, real quick, I got nominated for my first prop award. We didn't win, but like three of the shows on the entire nomination list, I've got huge amounts of work in. So nice. I was thinking about it the other day. So I just I'll shoot you some pictures. But anyway, yeah, get back to it. Tell Zeke I said hello, and hope
tell him I said congratulations
and everything. And I'll catch up with you guys later.
He says congratulations, man. That's so awesome. I'll give you a call back in a bit. All right.
All right. See you, buddy.
All right, later, man. Bye.
That's cool. And he's the prop guy that you worked with?
He was our blacksmithing judge on the show.
That's
and he does
weird.
props now. Yeah,
he was the blacksmithing judge on Master of Arms.
Yes, yeah.
That's wild.
Hand to God. I did not plan this. Like that was completely dude, and that's how he does it. He does it when I call him, he never picks up. But like out of the blue on like a Tuesday at 3:00, he'll be like, "Hey man, how you doing?" Like out of nowhere.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. This is freaky. It's freaky stuff. It's a dark organization.
I got chills from that, dude. That's so weird.
That's funny.
That's some of the stuff I'm going to talk about in book 2 too. So that's going to be some weird
cosmic
stuff.
shit, dude.
There has been so much stuff like that has happened in my life. Even bigger, like not just somebody we talked about calling, like, whoa, okay, that's freaky kind of thing. Which I'll go into more in the book. But what were we talking about? What would he called?
Fahrenheit 451.
Oh yeah, Fahrenheit. So my writing style, right? I was like, okay, do I write this like a big time, J.R.R. Tolkien, Kurt Vonnegut, whoever, well known, Nobel Prize writer? Yeah, no, I wrote it like me. So if you're any bit as ADD as I am, you'll be able to read this pretty easily because I have the weirdest spacings. And initially I was going to format it and I was, running it through some software. And then I looked at some people on Fiverr that charge like $500 to format it for Amazon. I'm like, yeah, no, I'll figure it out myself.
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, that space is kind of dumb there. I'm like, but that's because I kind of froze up and I didn't know what to do. And I just hit enter. I'm leaving it, So if anybody's reading this expecting, a perfectly, MLA formatted essay on book report, whatever, you're not going to get it.
and don't
think
do
it was necessary.
Don't do text to speech.
Text to speech is weird.
That formatting just like ripped the book apart. Like I was just like, this isn't coming out. And then I would read it on the page. I'm like, no, it makes sense. But the way that the thing reads it, you're just like, oh God, it's rough.
So I was wanting to get the book read before the interview. And so I read about the first third just on my Kindle. Yeah. And then I did the text to speech thing for like 3 chapters in the middle. Yeah. And so I know exactly what Chris is talking about. And I think the reason it worked for me is because I still had your writing style in my head. And I already had like,
gotcha.
When you're reading something, you like put a voice to people, like to characters. Yep. I already had that. I already had the voice inflections and the rhythm of speech of each character. And so I was able to do it with text to speech for a little bit. But then the last like 8 chapters of the book, I finished just on my phone. And so that worked for me. But I don't think that the writing style was bad at all. Like the formatting of it didn't hurt the story in any way. Yeah. I think it actually made it relatable to the way people talk now.
Uh-huh.
Like if you were to go and tell a high school student now to go back and read Of Mice and Men or Pride and Prejudice, they're not going to get it the same way. And that's just like the evolution of language over time. And even in a very short time, because of things like social media and AI and all that, our language has evolved so quickly into a shorthand version. And now everybody's got fucking memes and LOLs and shorthand of everything that doesn't make sense at all.
My son, I've got a 14-year-old son, and I think and bet is the perfect thing for dad jokes too, because I'm like, oh, what are we betting on? I know what he's saying, but it's still like I'm like, oh, we're going to bet on the Titans winning this because I'm not betting on that. We suck this year.
I'm so happy my kids are like 4 and 8. Like I don't even know the atrocities to the English language that they'll bring up, but I also don't know what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm not going to have to deal with this stupid bet talk and all this. Like, it'll be something dumber for sure.
Yeah. Could be different.
If brain rot progresses, like, dude, that is the most bizarre thing. I asked my dad the other day, I'm like, dude, did I do this stuff? And like, cause my son will just, he'll get in the car. I'm like, hey, did you have a good day? Chode, skibbity chode, skibbity Italian. Really? I'm like, what are you saying? And I think
kick him out a lot of it.
a lot of it is like him pressing my buttons. Like, I get it. I get he's trying to annoy me. But there's so many times that he does it so much that we'll be in mid-conversation.
Yeah.
And he'll skibbity Riz, Ohio, whatever. And I'm like, what just happened?
What did you say?
Did something happen in your brain? Yeah. And my dad was like, no, you said stupid shit. But it made sense as stupid shit.
Yeah.
This is just like
garbage.
What is it?
I would kick his ass out of the car and be, you can skibbity hop your way back home. Like, you little shit. Exactly. Like, you're not going to be in my car.
Exactly.
I don't get that from my kid. I think it must be, I don't know. It seems to be very what's the word for that? It's sporadic. Like, when that pops up, because like, obviously my 4-year-old is just a 4-year-old, but like, my oldest, she'll read like 2-3 books in like a night. Like, she'll sit there and just consume like short books. She'll just burn through them. Like, she's doing this Dragon Fire or something. Like, it's like a kid's version of Game of Thrones or something. And she'll just like cruise through them. And she's like, I already read those. I need more books. And you're just like, okay, like, read all the books you want, like all of them. And like, I don't know if I'll have that with her.
No, if she's reading like that, you're not going to.
Definitely with my youngest, though, I'm going to see some weird shit because she's like, like really pretty, but also like volatile.
Yeah.
So she'll be a problem.
And I have these glimmers of hope too, right? You know,
they grow out of it.
He'll have those moments, and it's to the point now where I see him smirking, like he's like, I got to you, and I'm like, okay. So that gives me hope. It's like he knows what he's doing. But then there's also there's those moments, like, you know, we're not going to talk about it, but you know, some stuff happened recently that was kind of dark stuff, and kids all over the world were exposed to it because of social media.
Yeah.
And for him to call and want to discuss his feelings about it, you know,
that's big.
And I'm like, oh, okay, this is different, you know, and you know, and I told him, he goes, but why? I don't know anything about this person. Why do I feel? I'm like, well, you saw something that was very dark. It was very sad. It was very harsh. So that tells me that we're on a good path because you're not a sociopath, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you're not, it bothered you, you know, no matter what it was, you know, something like that bothered you and it opened you up to have a conversation. So I have these little glimmers of hope like that with him. And, you know, there's been other things with basketball. Like, basketball is his number one sport. And I played basketball up into college. And he will every now and then go, hey, what do you think about this ball handling drill? And I'm like,
all right.
I'm like,
that's awesome. That's super awesome, like, man.
Come over here and show me all the videos you want to about basketball.
That's
so
cool.
It's not where I'm like throwing my hands up. Oh my God, we're doomed as a society. Although we're close. But it's one of those things where even when your kids are pushing your buttons and doing the brain rot stuff and all this, you know, if you've raised them right, there's still going to be those moments of hope, these glimmers, because when they hit puberty, I mean, dude, it was like a light switch. He's like, I'm going to push everybody's buttons as far as I can push them until I get in trouble, and then I'll back off. And that's his whole MO with life.
Testing boundaries.
That's normal, though. We did it. You know, all three of us did it. And I mean, I was lucky enough to have 2 younger brothers, so like, I didn't really get the opportunity to do it as much because I was just gone. Like, I was just out when I was, you know, 14 years old. From then on, I was like on my bike all day with my friends or at school or whatever. Like, so I didn't get in trouble that much, but I also didn't do stupid shit. Kids today, they'll do stupid shit. We talked about on the last episode, the guy that was like doing parkour on like a 30-story building and fell off. And you're just like, why'd you do that?
Oh yeah.
That was stupid. Don't do that. Or like in COVID, like when they're doing the milk crate climbing things and the chick broke her back.
Yes.
Man.
What was the point
about that?
One guy died doing it.
A bunch of people died, dude. A bunch of it is the TikTok.
People eating fucking Tide Pods and.
Oh, dude! I saw a dude rub was a Trinidad scorpion on his eyes, and I was like, "Why? You want to go blind? Like it's not just a fake heat. Like there's actually chemical stuff that's happening. It's a plant defense. Don't do that. That's stupid."
So anybody listening, tell me, I had this in book 1. I had this in Exit the Now. And then I kind of took it out because it didn't fit, because I was talking about society and stuff like you're just talking about, and the dopamine rush people get from the likes and follows and everything. And I was trying to, I mean, there are some aspects of the book that are going to be divisive depending on what your viewpoint is anyways.
Sure.
Right? It's not going to be horribly divisive. But, you know, one of the things was, you know, I've thought that a dark organization put COVID into place because originally they were testing how far society would push into stupidity with TikTok and Instagram Reels and everything else, Tide Pods, all this stupid shit that people were doing and dying. They're like, okay, let's orchestrate it a little bit better. Let's do COVID.
Yeah. I thought that was necessary to add that.
Yeah. So I didn't get too in depth with that, but I thought, you know, it's these philosophical things that I think when I'm observing life right now and society right now, that I'm like, how can I spin that into fiction? How can I spin that into something that makes everybody think from whatever their perspective is, and their thinking makes them be a better person?
Yeah.
You know, that's my biggest goal with this. I want people to read it. I want people to go, that makes me think. And if I think that way, whether it's whatever my perspective on that viewpoint is, I'm going to make an effort to be better. You know, to get along with people, you know, to steal Rodney King's thing. Why can't we all just get along?
I have referenced that quote so much in like the past, like 3 years. It's just been a constant in my head. And it is like, I mean, we've been pretty clear on this podcast. Like I don't know how to put it. 'Cause it's not, the definitions change so frequently, you know, when they show that chart, the left and the right, and like the goalposts move, and you're like, wait a second, I was a centrist, you know, I was in the middle, and now what happened? But like, I've kind of stayed with it in the sense that, like, you know, the world changes and you need to adjust the way that you look at things. And I tend to find myself always on the side of preserving what my grandparents built and what their parents built in this country. And that would essentially make me a patriot by definition. So I would be a constitutional libertarian, you know, and that's the best, not that you need to put names on it, but when I look at certain things, let's say current events, I look at it from that viewpoint now. And my first thought is like, well, no, that's not good for the people. And I recently got into an argument with someone who really wanted to argue about it. I didn't. About certain world events that are happening. And I was like, I don't give a shit about the governments. I care about the people. I don't want people dying. Who wants people dying? You'd have to be a psychopath to be voting for that or to be happy with that.
Well, and why don't we sit back and remember, well, I got a tattoo of it. It says, well, it's kind of faded. It's old. It says, "We the people," right across there.
Yeah.
You know, our government is supposed to be by the people, for the people. Why is it all the 1%ers in government? Why do we keep electing billionaires? Not saying that billionaires can't do good. You know, sure they can. But why hadn't there been a few people making $50,000 a year run for office? Well, because they can't afford it. We're now in a system where by the people, for the people can't really happen because of the affordability factor of it. And I believe, too, you know, we keep electing leadership at the top. When I say at the top, I'm talking about president, that is extreme left or extreme right.
Yeah.
A true leader, a true leadership person can walk into a room with people that are completely divided and go, okay, everybody over here, everybody over here, let's bring our hands together. Let's figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Because I can't come in as your leader and go, nope, it's only my way because I'm over here with these people. Because all of a sudden now you've created a bigger mob mentality with one extra person. And that extra person is in charge. You know, we need to find that centrist leader that is compassionate, but still can make, because I've had, and anybody that's listening to this going, oh, well, no, the left's only this, or oh, the right's only this. Dude, I have had conversations with people that are diametrically opposed to what I do for a living. And when we leave that conversation, we're both in a good place about it.
Yeah.
You know, it is possible. You can, but the conversations have to happen.
It's uncomfortable, though. Then people nowadays don't like the discomfort. I had a conversation with my brother, and we're very, very different politically, and I mean, lifestyle, even like we're very different. I've always very much appreciated and respected like where he's at. And in some cases, been overtly supportive of it. And we had a very nice conversation the other day, which I fully expected to go in the wrong direction. But I think, and it was uncomfortable. It was super uncomfortable. And I think for the most part, people who run from discipline, they run from unpleasantness, and they just want to dive into their phone and like have these little drops of dopamine all day.
Yep.
And they want to eat like expensive food, and they want to have the Gucci bag, and they want to drive the nice car and keep up with the Joneses and have all these things. They don't realize that like the ultimate cost of that is not usually only money, but there's a societal effect of people constantly seeking pleasure, which is why we get frickin' OnlyFans, and every female influencer on Twitter is either like a hyper intelligent, possibly sometimes divisive person, or they're showing their ass.
Yep.
Because it's become a marketing stunt now.
Yeah.
You know, it's a way for people to monetize and you know.
I knew it. Oh, go ahead.
Let me, because I'm going off. I'm like, I'm losing myself in the tangent. But what happens is societally, when everyone's driven towards constant pleasure and avoiding the hard things and the hard conversations, as a culture, we start sliding, the needle goes one way. And the problem is, and this happened in Germany prior to World War II, that needle just started moving. And I'm not even saying politically left, socially left started moving that way. And it starts going and going and going. And yeah, we all want nice things for homeless people and you know, immigrants and, you know, social services and all that stuff. But as a society, certain things keep going this way. And then when you get a new regime change that didn't like that, they don't just go back to center. They go all the way extreme. And that's how you get Hitler. Like not Hitler. That's how you get actual Hitler. That's how you get burning books. That's how you get. And I mean, whether you're for or against any of that stuff, and this is a hot take, people aren't going to agree with me on this, and that's fine. Because at the end of the day, I want to keep that fucking needle in the middle.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it,
everybody should.
It needs to be in the middle, guys, because if you don't, you end up with these wild swings where we're like, guess what? No guns. And then all the guns. And then, you know, only, you know, you're over here and only a man and a woman can get married. And they're like, I can, you know, be dress up as a dog and teach children in a school. Like, I think the most of us want to be right down the center and be like, you know what, you guys do your thing as adults. I'm going to do my thing. We're going to say hi on the street. And maybe once in a while I'll see you at the deli and we're going to be bullshitting about some funny thing we saw outside that day. And that's where I want things to be.
That's the beauty of the way our country was created, right?
Absolutely.
That's why our constitution is written the way it is. There has to be a balance of power, right?
Yeah.
But what I think people have figured out, the powers that be, aka maybe somebody in the book too, you know, they figured out that, hey, if we get 4 to 8 years of one side and 4 to 8 years of the other side and 48 years of one side or 4 to 8 years of the other, the power keeps swinging back and forth. And what do we do as a society? We're always just fighting each other. Yep. And guess what? If we're fighting, if you hear, and this is, you know, this is the space I work in. If you hear gun rights, now, not in the space I work in, if you hear abortion, if you hear religious zealots or terrorism, or you hear LGBTQ rights, if you hear those 4 things, stop paying attention to it and pay attention to what's actually happening behind closed doors.
Yeah.
You know, I had to go verify this. And you know what? I'm not going to say it on here. People can go figure it out themselves because I don't want to get killed. But one thing I will say, you know, let's go back to when I first started in the media space. Marty and I started Talking Lead the day Newtown happened.
Oh.
And we were like, oh, God, do we air this? Do we air this show? I mean, because we're recording as the news is coming out. And I'm like, oh, how do we do this? How do we? And we decided, okay, we're going to take it from a stance of really giving a shit and caring about these kids. And let's figure this out. Let's do this, you know. And then at the end, our catchphrase came out, you know, keep your loved ones close, you know, kind of thing. Well, for the first 6 to 8 months of our show, there was all of a sudden all this assault weapons ban stuff coming out.
Yeah.
There was a bill on the table, and we started interviewing cops and, officers in the military. And we would ask them, if an assault weapons ban gets passed, what are you going to do? We're not going to obey it. We swore an oath to protect the Constitution. There's no way I'm going to Uncle Jimmy's house and saying, I need all your ARs.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it, and so many cops. And so I started going, okay, well, this will never happen. This is not going to happen. That is too big of a thing. With the stroke of a pen, you would create 1 or 2.3 million felons.
Yeah.
Instantly. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this is never going to happen. And that's when that philosophy of, whoa, quit paying attention to what's on that side of the curtain. Yeah. Pay attention to what's on the other side. Because the day they voted down the assault weapons ban, the same day they passed the bill that the NSA can now look at your emails without a warrant. Yeah. But we weren't paying attention to that because we were all fighting about gun rights.
Yeah.
When abortion comes out, I'm always like, okay, I'm not listening. I want to see what else they're doing. I want to pay attention to what they're doing behind closed doors because they want us fighting. They want us divided because, was it Lincoln that said it? A house divided can't stand.
Yeah.
Can't. If we're all hating each other, we can't have a functional society.
Imagine what we would have. Seriously, like I want everyone to like sit back and think about this as a thing. Like, imagine what we would have, where we would be if it wasn't every 4 to 8 years, one side extreme, the other side extreme, the other side extreme. Like, imagine where we would be. I mean, a lot of people
we'd have flying cars.
Flying fucking cars. Yeah. I have a comic book that talks about flying cars in like 1980. Like it is so funny, like how, and I mean that goes into an entirely different direction with restrictions and regulations and all kinds of crap, which is something that a particular billionaire that we know of is fighting to have removed, which I think is good. I think it's ultimately good. Progress needs to happen in certain areas that it's been stagnant for far too long. We landed on the moon in '69, for fuck's sake. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me that I can't hop on a rocket ship and be in like Shanghai in 3 hours? Come on. Like, that's possible. We can do these things. But we don't.
Could you imagine in our high school days if somebody walked into school with this?
Dude,
and said, here's all the knowledge in the world? We would have been like, you're crazy, Yeah. So the technology's there. We just hadn't got to it yet.
Yeah, but it's always fighting. Everyone's fighting, and I get there are certain things. Like, there was something that I heard, and this is coming up close to the line, but something that I overheard where a certain group of people were being put on in a registry, literally in the past couple of days, and then there was certain possible. We're skating around it. Certain people were trying to put forth a bill that would allow certain news agencies to not spread propaganda.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not going to give my thoughts on it, but I've been thinking about this a lot. Free speech is absolute, and it's not pretty, and it pisses people off. And, there's that old saying, like, the First Amendment's to protect you from the government, but it's not going to protect you from me. It's one of those things. And I'm struggling with it because, like, on one side, I think we should not allow mainstream media to like spread opinions as fact. But on the flip side, where does that go from there? Where does that go to Twitter or X? Does that go to Instagram? If I make a funny joke, am I now a news agency? Am I a citizen journalist that is spreading false information? Like, it gets slippery really fast.
And I think part of the free speech thing, right, is, all right, go back to what you said. Should journalists, spread stuff as real news that's actually an opinion, right?
Yeah.
I think it is their responsibility to not do that. It's just like, okay, the Second Amendment, it at the end says shall not be infringed, right?
Absolutely.
So do we say, no, you have to take this training? Well, that's kind of an infringement. But if you are going to own a tool that was designed to kill, which I have several, it is your responsibility as an adult human being to train as much as you possibly can. Do I think it should be like mandated? Oh God, that's that gray area where you're
it's
like,
weird,
oh, that
right?
you struggle with, right?
Yeah.
So same thing with journalism and media. They have a responsibility as good people, as good members of society to go, hey, that guy just spewed this, this, and this. It sounds great, and our ratings would go through the roof, but it's just his opinion. We should make sure everybody knows this is just this dude's opinion. But they don't do it. So the responsibility goes out the window, and then people are scrambling for legitimate news on Instagram and TikTok, and then it goes really haywire. It goes crazy that way. I get it, because there's a lot of stuff I see right now because of what's happened recently that infuriates me. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, I'm a constitutionalist. First Amendment right. Perfect example. Burning the flag. I was in the military. You know, we learned that you do not desecrate the flag in any way, shape, or form. I hate when people burn the flag. But I'm also a constitutionalist.
Exactly.
I you know, the Trump thing right now about trying to push some measure where LGBTQ trans people can't buy guns. I'm like, whoa, no.
We know someone at the heart of the issue on literally both sides, and that's the first person I thought of, and I was like, I don't know how it's going to work out for her. That's kind of weird. We're talking FFL, like a fully certified person.
Yeah, it's like, why would you take anyone's Bill of Rights just because they feel and identify or think or believe or say, or if you are a felon, all right, you're done.
That's different. Yeah.
Violent felon. I am actually a proponent for amending that a little bit. Part of the Second Amendment is not the felon part. That's laws that have been put in place by states and the country. I think that should be amended. I think it should be a violent felon, because there are lots of nonviolent felons that have been out for 30 years. They got arrested because they had a freaking roach in their ashtray in their car, and they're a felon because of it. And now all these marijuana laws have been repealed and changed and made it legal, and they're still a felon. It's like, no, let's repeal some of this crap.
I agree.
You know, let's give them their rights back. But if you were a violent felon, if you were armed robbery, if you beat the shit out of somebody, if you shot someone, if you stabbed them, no, your rights are gone. Sorry. I
agree.
You screwed up. But but it's this weird area of interpretation. And my wife is a lawyer.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I ask her these questions about different things, and I'm like, and she's like, that's what the law is all about. It's interpreting the law. It is constantly. It is also the beauty of our Constitution. It's a living, breathing document, right?
Yeah.
But the interpretations get skewed different ways depending on who's in the Supreme Court. You know, if anybody's really wanting to know how to get power and get their agenda done, it's not the president. You know, if you're pro-life or pro-choice, the president doesn't have jack shit to do with that. It's the Supreme Court at that point.
Yeah.
So if you're getting a president in at the point where there's a lot of Supreme Court justices that are retiring or passing away, then yes, he can make a difference there. Otherwise, pro-choice, pro-life it's a moot point if I'm looking for who's going to be my president.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to vote based off a gamble that, there might be some Supreme Court justices that go out and he gets to appoint them. You know, that is a stupid way to vote. My First Amendment right to say you're stupid.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, you're not going to like everything. Like, you know, someone's going to call you a shithead at some point, and your first reaction is going to shoot it back at them, right? You're going to be like, fuck you. And it's like, guess what? That was a perfectly understandable interaction, and we need to have more of those. We need to have more of those kinds of conversations that are not escalated to points of no return. And I think it's completely acceptable. I mean, we were just talking Milo's coming back, and that's going to go over. You
want extremists.
You don't want that guy. Trust me. Like, if anyone's, and a lot of young people don't remember like how wild that dude was. You don't want that. 'Cause like that argument, it's going to be interesting.
And this, I want people on both sides of the fence to think about, and just really stop, everybody listening to this show,
yeah,
and think from the perspective of both sides. If you support any kind of violent death to anyone on either side of the or on either side of the fence, whatever the argument is, that violent death is only going to create more extreme people of that side, the side you're against, right?
Yeah.
How many terrorists have been created because we accidentally bombed their family's house?
Yeah.
Lots.
That's who brought up that point recently. That was no, it wasn't recently. That was from where did I hear that?
And I don't want that happening. Let me clarify.
That was Dave Smith. Dave Smith was really big on that one.
Yeah. I don't want that to happen. I don't want extremists killing people. I don't want anybody dying or getting murdered.
I don't think anyone...
on either side of the fence. Yeah. I don't. George Floyd, Melissa, was it Hobart, the Minnesota lawmaker? I did mourn her. I don't vote like her, but I mourned her.
Yeah.
It's just it's one of those things where we need as a society to figure this shit out. I mean, I want to say a big, deeper thing, but we just got to figure this shit out.
I think more
sounds like we need to read more.
Moral heads will prevail. I think it's morality. I guess the thing is, like, there you go. Exit to now. Read the book. It's got all the answers. But it doesn't. People think that, like, we're just talking about the laws and the Constitution and stuff. But, like, there's another part that it's very ambiguous and it needs to be still observed. And that's morality. Like, you're still a person. You still have to operate within the confines of, like, decency and courtesy and kindness and love. And I think that will do what, and I think that's a lot of the reason people seek faith, right? Because it does foster a lot of those same feelings in most places, as long, well, there's certain religions that don't necessarily foster
and
a lot of those,
and take a page from the pipe community, right? One of the things I learned about, I bought a couple books about, history of pipes and pipe tobacco. One of the things that's brilliant about the pipe community is if you're having a debate, if you're having a conversation with somebody that is diametrically opposed to you, but y'all both smoke a pipe, light those damn pipes. Mm-hmm. Because this is what happens. I'm talking. I do this. Your turn.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You get these visual cues instead of, like, I'm going to talk over you. No, I'm going to talk over you. You have now this visual cue that, okay, my point has been made, your point, and that's where, take a note from that to kind of call back to y'all's whole Beyond the Pipe, show. Is there are cool things about the community, and that's one of them that I always liked is there were people that thought differently, because, like you said, it's kind of split down the middle the way people think in this community. But I've never had harsh or vile or, intense interactions when I was doing the pipe show. I didn't really bring up, controversial subjects or anything, but still.
It's gotten a little spicier since then. I mean, it's still contained to certain areas, and I think that
as spicy as the Selena Gomez Oreos.
Probably not that spicy, but it has gotten a little. There's been a couple instances where things get a little unhinged, and you're kind of like, yeah, but we're not going to go down that path. Some people do, and some people, they fuck around and find out, and they're out of the group usually, but. I just think it, like, in common discourse, like, where I live is a really good snapshot. It's a really good training ground for that, because it is wildly, like, different. Like, we have people fully, I don't live in, like, small town Kansas, where it's like everyone for the most part thinks the same or whatever. But, like, out here, it's pretty divisive on a daily basis, and you see the bumper stickers, and you see
people know the state at least. I'm not going to outwear.
Oh no, I'm not. I doxed myself a long time ago. I live in California. Okay. Yeah, but most people don't know my address. I hope, but wouldn't matter anyway.
Delete that post, damn it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like that's another side to this. Well, let me finish with the point. But, like, the biggest thing when everyone was, like, scratching up Teslas and stuff, there was one guy, and I still haven't talked to him, but I always see a Cybertruck everywhere. And he put those magnets on his car that say "Smile, you're on camera" on all sides of the Tesla. And I was like, that's just awesome. Like, that's just funny. I don't want to go into all that whole thing because I don't really care one way or the other, but it was just funny how many people were like, I bought this before Elon went crazy. I'm like, do people need to know that? Like, are we at a place where like you need to make excuses for a product that you bought? Like, I'm not judging you for your Stanley Cup, Zeke, even though I think it's basic as fuck, or Sean's super tiny Stanley Cup, you know?
But it's black. It means I'm dark.
Yeah, it's such a stupid thing. Like, everyone needs to just knock this shit off and just be people and laugh about differences and joke about stereotypes and, you know, just quit being such little bitches about everything, because it doesn't help anyone. Like, this constant divisiveness, it creates, like I said before, a societal angst. And, you know, people always forget your kids are watching this.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to sit there and watch...
Or they will eventually, because the internet's forever.
Yeah, but like you're sitting on the couch. Like, we were watching Dexter last night. My daughter kept coming out because she has like a really crazy cough. She got it from us. I don't even know what it's, some viral cough. And so we gave her a little bit of Benadryl to help her sleep and to see if that would like take care, if it's allergies, get rid of that. And it wired her up. She has the same reaction I have.
Wow.
I can't take Benadryl. It's like crack for me. I have the opposite effect. Have you ever heard about that? People that take NyQuil and they're just like up all night from it.
That's how my life is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So she was up all night and we're sitting there, we're watching Dexter. I'm like, fuck, man, I really want to watch the rest of this episode. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to play it. And there was like, you know, someone's like, there's blood or whatever. And I was like, okay, you just got to put her back to bed. Like, she can't be in here for this.
Yeah.
And, you're like, if you don't want your kids watching something like that, yet you're willing to go nuts and sometimes even get them involved in it, which is another video that I saw recently, which made me very sad, where some woman was like, something amazing happened today. And the two daughters were like, what? Is Donald Trump dead? And I'm like, that should absolutely never be the first reaction from a 6-year-old like that. I don't care what side you're on. Yeah. Like, shame on you. And you shouldn't, your kids are going to see this. Your nieces and nephews, your grandchildren will be affected by the divisiveness that you are spreading right now. And if you're going to be the adult in the room, and many people will not claim to be even in their 30s, be the adult in the room and be like, you know what? It stops here. That's how I feel, at least. Like, my kids will never see any sort of like anger towards another person because they believe something different in my house. Like, and I'm not saying I'm the best at anything. Like, I cuss in front of my kids all the time, but it's understood that like, this is not their problem. This is something we created and or are dealing with right now. Not them.
And I'll add this to that because it's along the same lines, just on a bigger scale. Yeah. You know, you said it stops right now. This is something else that needs to stop right now. Whether you're right wing, left wing, LGBTQ, super straight, whatever you are, whatever you think, if you think we are at the point where we need a revolution, you need to fucking have a wake up call. Because a revolution means that you might have to do things that you don't want your kids to see, you don't want your kids to have to do. A true revolution, there's kids that are taking up arms. Yeah. You don't want that. You don't want a real revolution in our country. We are still at a place where we can still have discourse and make things happen. We are not at revolution point. So all the people that are out there spewing, well, it's time for a revolution. No, we don't want that. You're talking about fighting your brothers, your cousins, or anybody like that. Yeah. So that rhetoric needs to stop. Now, would we get to a point where we might need one? Sure. If there is a Hitler or a Nazi in office that is a true tyrant that is in office, that's revolution time. Not because we disagree with another side. Yeah. You know, and that's
we can all agree though that Captain Black Grape is nectar from the gods, and that Frogmorton Cellar sucks.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I'm just kidding.
Careful.
How do I
I had to stir shit up. I had to stir shit up a little bit.
We needed to take it higher than what we just did, Sean. Come on, calm down.
I went over the top there.
I tried that once. I tried that once, and it was like a damn vape pen.
It's the best. It's so good, though.
Grape.
I mean,
really?
Yeah, it's good. Would you say that White Castle is the best burger? No, but it's the best White Castle. It's his own thing. Like things are there. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
better than Crystal. I think it's better than Crystal. And I can't say that because Crystal started in Tennessee. I'm not supposed to say that.
I have never had Crystal. We don't even have exposure to Crystal. But White Castle, like, yeah, it's a piece
I thought you were
of
talking
shit,
about
but
meth.
it's awesome.
I don't know what the hell you were talking about.
Oh, Crystal. It's funny though. Like, yeah. We can have like proper discourse on like things that are kind of benign, right? Like I can be like, oh, I don't know how people could even with like my so I know a person who is, I would say, pretty central, but she'll throw I'm just gonna say it. So I had a massage the other day, and it sounds weird to say that because it makes me sound all highfalutin. I had a massage.
No, what was awesome is you were going, this is really deep. Yeah. Okay, I had a massage though.
So I had a massage, and this is funny because like my therapist is like diametrically opposed to me on like most things, even food. Like she's a full vegetarian, right? And I'll ask her
CrossFit too.
Well, no, I don't want to give away too much, but like she's vegetarian, and we kind of came to this, like she doesn't think it's weird that I mainly eat meat. Like I mean, I mostly eat beef, mostly, like 80%. And she doesn't give me shit about it. She's a vegetarian. I wouldn't say I'm a carnivore, but I'm, mostly there. And we're talking about it. And this is like someone who is in the process of helping me. I'm paying her. She's helping me. I need her to be present. I need her to be doing a good job. And we've stayed away from like politics. Not that she knows mine, and I do know hers because she's open about it. And she said something a little unhinged the other day, and I was just like, don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything. And then I was like, next topic, moving on. Do that thing. You can bitch about which burger is the best, and I think that's going to stay at like a 2 for most people. No one's getting like super pissed off that like someone's saying Big Macs are better than In-N-Out.
Yeah, don't tell me In-N-Out's better than Whataburger. We'll fight.
I don't have it, so I can claim that. I've never had Whataburger, so I can claim that it is. So like if you keep things like light and fun, and just like at the very worst in your head, you can be like, fuck your opinion. I don't care what your opinion is. And if it's a person who's close enough to you where their opinion actually matters on a subject, and they're educated enough to like hold up in an argument with you, then you can appreciate their opinion and disagree with it. Like, what a crazy concept. I exist in a much larger family who are completely on the other side of the fence to me. And that's saying something. I wouldn't say they're not way over there, but they're far enough away to where I was a black sheep for years. Yeah. And still participating in the family, but I was the crazy guy, and I'm finding more now that they're drifting back towards the center. And I see that with a lot of people. And I think that 90% of the country exists within like a fairly middle of the range thing where you can have a totally, kind and loving conversation about something, and it's going to be okay. Going back to Zeke's point, ignore the media about everything. When you see like that one person with the 2 daughters that had that's one family, one. That's not everyone. And on the other side, when you see someone burning a flag, that's one person doing that. And it should anger you if you believe that it's something that should anger you. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. And we can disagree on that. But we got to keep the fucking middle in the needle, or the needle in the middle. Like people are swinging it. 2 wrongs don't make a right. It's that same theory. Like swinging it the other way doesn't help the situation, just makes it go the other way. And that holds us back as like humanity. So,
yeah, 2 wrongs don't make a right. And this whole rhetoric and the whole argument of where was that energy when X?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, we're now getting into he hit me first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where we're at.
It's like, okay, I get it. There are a lot of people who are mad about what happened last week that weren't mad when George Floyd died, and maybe even celebrating when he did. That's bad on them too. You know, it's just. All right, I'm going to steal from Bill and Ted. Be excellent to each other. That's it.
There.
Done.
I think that's a good thing. That's the title. That's the title of the episode.
Be excellent to each other.
And read more. And go follow Zeke Stout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Zeke, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, dude. This has been a blast.
Read the book.
This is still
go
weird
get
to
his
me,
new
man.
book.
Having
you got a book, dude. That's cool.
So the book's title for the people who are listening is "Exit to Now" by Zeke Stout.
And if y'all got the digital, y'all didn't get to see my author photo.
What is
that's
it?
Funny.
I can't.
It's a pronto pup. It's a giant corn dog covered in mustard.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just going to town on it.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Did you on the digital book? Did y'all see like my bio and all that? Did
I
y'all
don't
get to
think
read that?
No,
I don't think so.
Here, I'll read it to you. Here's one of the first time I've read out loud to people. Zeke Stout finally got around to finishing his first novel after years of dabbling and a year of full-blown writing. He's currently a chief marketing officer, but also has been the host of Master of Arms TV show. He graduated from Middle Tennessee State University with a Bachelor of Science that has nothing to do with what his job is or what he writes about. I just hope this book is still good.
It was really good. Everybody get it. You can get it on Kindle. You can get it like a physical
Amazon.
Copy.
Yeah.
Is there a hard copy version too?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a hardback and a paperback.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
On Amazon. You can get them both there.
I'll be getting another one of those soon. Maybe I'll buy one directly from you instead.
Yeah. Well, go into Amazon is directly from me, but then send it to me and I'll autograph it and sign it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And make it worth less.
We'll see.
You gotta go in and cross out Keel and write Zeke in there instead.
Yes.
A bunch of
We didn't mention this.
Go through the whole book and do it.
The main character smokes a bones pipe too.
He does.
That's
we didn't
true.
even mention
in the book.
And one of the bad guys.
And the bad guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Two mentions of pipes. So this is a pipe related episode, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pipe.
It is.
It's a pipe book.
Yeah.
It is.
If you close your eyes.
Go follow Zeke on Instagram. It's Zeke ZEKE_Stout.
Yeah.
And you're the pipe squatch on
Don't
YouTube?
expect any new videos though.
No,
you got to start putting YouTube videos out there.
I'll just do it. I'll be one of those guys who's like, I don't smoke anymore, but I'll put it in my mouth.
There you go.
This is me. Start reading your book on there. Have episodes for a chapter.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe that's how I'll announce the book
cool.
on
Do
that.
your Audible. Do your Audible live.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
You could use the recording for that.
I do want to do an Audible book. Then I got to thinking, oh my God, that's like reading for 6 to 8 hours. Probably longer because I know I'm going to screw up a lot.
Probably way longer.
You should get it would be great for it is John.
Find a voice actor.
Get John Sr.
John would be good. Oh, I should get. Oh, you're talking about Hickok 45? His dad?
His name's John too, right?
His name's not John. But I won't say what his name is.
We don't know his name. Shit, that's right.
Hickok 45.
Hickok 45. I don't know why I was thinking his name was John. I guess you've never told me what his name is. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
His dad.
Oh, I'm not going to say that. I'll say it after you stop recording.
Yeah. Okay. You could have Hickok read it. He's got a good voice for that.
Yeah.
He'd be fun.
He'd be great for it.
Yeah.
Well, I wish. God, I know Arlie Ermy would have done the Gunny character for me if he was still around.
That
would have been awesome. But yeah, it'd be nice if I could find somebody that has a similar voice.
There's people out there.
Oh yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we know people. We got a network.
There we go.
Right on.
All right. Well, guys,
everybody, this has been Beyond the Pipe with Chris and Sean and Zeke Stout. Thank you very much for being on our podcast.
Yeah, I'm glad I could take it way beyond the pipe.
Be excellent to each other.
Yes.
That's the plan. All right. Later.
Adios.